Today on a Common Good MTG, we're playing Mono Green Stompy. Stompy means you're getting out pretty beefy creatures, usually with trample by mid-game. I think this is an aggro deck, but it was called Mono Green Stompy when I picked it up. So there's the Mono Green, and Stompy is big, fat, trampley creatures. If that sounds interesting to you, then stay tuned to find out more. Hello and welcome to Uncommonly Good MTG. I'm your host, and I got to tell you, my parents used to move around a lot when I was a kid, but I always end up finding them. Dr. Yukon Socket. Yes, thank you. Filmed before a live studio audience. Thank you so much, Yukon Socket. Word to your mama. So I'm broadcasting to you today from my secret underground headquarters, and I'm bringing to you a deck I found over on the Aether Hub, hosted by Znox, called 2025-09-11 Mono Green Stompy. And I just called it Stompy because I don't want to shove all that stuff up in there. So anyways, it's listed as an aggro deck, which is kind of weird for Stompy. You don't usually have Stompy and aggro going along together. And after playing this a couple times, I think of this as being more of an aggro deck. In fact, I think it's a MONEYBALL deck. So we'll have to talk about MONEYBALL a little bit too. All right, let's talk about it then. So what is a MONEYBALL deck? A MONEYBALL deck is a deck where you want your creatures to do 3 points of damage. You want them to cost 3 or less mana. Less is 2 is better. And they need to have some sort of evasion. In the case of green, it's usually trample. Because you want to do 3 points of damage with trample, and you want it to be cheap, which costs you like 2 to put out. So we got a bunch of that. We totally have a bunch of that. And usually if you get haste, that's even better. But you don't usually see haste that much with green. That's where you usually get on the red side. Reason why is because if you can hit people with 3 guys for 3 points of damage, if each of those guys, you're doing 9 points of damage, which means you only have to go 3 turns and they're dead. And it just depends, can you throw your guys out so quickly that you can do that kind of damage to them so quickly? Believe it or not, MONEYBALL decks can do it. So let's take a look at the cards in this deck. We'll talk a little bit how it should work. And then we're going to go out and we're going to crush some hopes and dreams. What do we got here today? We got target creature gets +3/+3. This guy says whenever this creature becomes tapped, another target creature you control gets +X/+X, which is equal to this guy's power. So if you got to get this guy out, you can giant growth him, which will then put that, whatever before then onto somebody else, somebody with trample supposedly. So that means you got this guy coming in for 4, another guy with another +4/+4. Llanowar Elves is a mana ramp. This guy can be twice himself if you got 3 mana rather than 1. And then whenever one of your dudes is targeted, you can put popo counters on creatures you control. Royal Treatment protects your guy, gives your guy hexproof. Also gives them a Royal Enchantment, which gives them +1/+1 and ward. Tifa, it depends on how much money you want to pump into it. For just 1, you get +2/+2. For 3, double a target's creature's power and toughness till the turn. And for 8, it's triple a target's power and toughness till the end of the turn. So that's pretty sweet. This guy put a popo counter on one of your creatures at the beginning of combat. Then you could also make it to where all counters give your dudes give a ward 1. And if you get up to the Super Saiyan ability of it, if you would put 1 or more counters on a permanent or a player, you put twice that many instead. So that's super cool. This guy's got trample and haste. He's a 3/2. Only costs 2 to put out. Can't be countered. None of your creatures can be countered. And combat damage cannot be prevented. So, yeah, this guy does a lot. Keen-Eyed Curator, as long as there are 4 more cards exiled. Then he gets +4/+4. He's already a 3/3. And you can use him to exile target creatures or target cards from a graveyard. Sentinel comes out, puts out a map token, and has Vigilance. He's a 3/4. This guy can't be countered. He's got trample. And whenever a creature you control or a creature spell you control becomes a target of spell or ability, and you draw a card. So he's a card draw engine, sort of. So between this guy and the little rabbits, you either pass around popo counters or drawing cards whenever one of your guys is targeted by an opponent. Ouroboroid will, at the beginning of combat, you put X popo counters on each creature you control, where X is this creature's power, which includes itself. If you could pump it up with giant growth, that'd be even better. And you get 2 of these guys out and things just start going nuts. This guy can become a creature. Other than that, we got 18 lands, and there we go. So what are we going to do? We're going to try to get it out, try to get Llanowar relatively early, get ourselves up into, I don't know, really, you want to get to Ouroboroid is what you want to get to. Frenzied Baloth is fantastic. And then start pumping. There you go. That's it. All right, so before we go out and do our damage, let's do as we do every night. Let's say our prayers and talk about what is best in life. Hands together. Dear Black King Volgaroth, who dwells within the dark chambers of my heart, please hear my prayers and grant your blessings as we attempt to crush our enemies, see them driven before us, and to hear lamentations of the women. All right, put against Captain Smollett. Smollett. Like, ew. I think I smolled it. Keep. I really need a second green. You're kind of a problem for me. Llanowar Elf, that'll be my best friend. And after that, I'm guessing I won't care that much. Let's go wave hello. Alright, don't be killing. I know you're playing blue-black, but we're all cool, man. Oh, he's got something up his butt. Giant growth is not going to be the thing. Ooh, maybe I'll be able to protect it. You coming after it? Yeah, there we go. Ooh, that was good, because I thought I was about to lose him. That was going to be bad. Yeah, now we get Ouroboroid like we own the place. Spank! Alright, we're moneyballing it. Look at we're at 3 mana essentially, and we're already making things around like crazy. I think Tifa's Limit can win the game for us, no problem. We just gotta keep the Frenzied Baloth alive, essentially. Well, let's see, because if I did double strike, it'd only be doing 8 at the moment. But if we keep everything out, then yeah, we're well within range. Let's go for the kill. Alright, so it's gonna be a little slower than expected. Alright, what are we gonna do? Let's Ouroboroid again. Let's do... let's get this guy out. He'll be fine. Cannot be countered. And let's take it in. He's down to 2. What do you do for us? You just pump something up. I can get something +2/+2 at the moment. And we win! Boom, boom! Goes the room. Boom, boom. Alright, playing against Kwesi. Kwesi. 1 mana. Oh, there's so much I can do with 1 mana, though. Alright, I'll keep it. I'll try. Alright, we'll get out there with a little mite action. Get the other guy out, we can attack. 2 of them together could help. Alright, 2. And I'll put out the other Pawpatch. Nobody worth pumping at this point, unfortunately. We could kind of set up a weird cascading Hemosymbic Mite. That'd be cool. Ouroboroid. Looks like we're raging towards the same things here. All right, straight up. We got some talent. We need 3. We'll put this guy out for 2. And is it just temporary? It is just temporary. All right, we'll pop it. We try to use the synergy between everybody there. We got giant growth in case he decides he wants to do something about it. That's cool. Have a good time. He's going after the first one. Do it. There we go. All right, nice. Nicely done. Hope we can pick up a 4th mana next turn. That'll really get things going. He's got his own Ouroboroid. All right, you got 1 mana left. We did not get what we were looking for. I could double somebody's turn. Let's just go in. Let's pump it up. Target. Target. Can I just finish him off now? Let's see what we can do. Double strike! Or double the amount of damage. And we win! Winner, winner! Victory dinner! Alright, put against emnothx. Emnothx. Alright, we'll land a ward up. Hey, Chomper, good to see you. That's a pretty dress you got on there. Alright, let's see. We get 3 out with this one. Innkeeper's talent. And one of these guys. That'll be cool. Is he going to go for a creature kill? That's what we're looking for here. Bad. Alright, hopefully we can keep Ouroboroid alive. Alright, so Ouroboroid's gonna die unless I just don't attack with them. Let's pop that up by 1. Let's just take it in. Make him a little bit more juicy. He's just going to go for the kill. Alright, these guys cost, what, 4 to pop out? So I need a whole more mana to handle that. Oh, jeez, the death touch again. I can't believe this. Alright, I got the mana. I don't see any trample in here. Can I just kill him with everything I got? That is touching it in a slim way. Oh, well, we'll do it. Oh, there we go. Anybody with trample? And we win! And we win! Victory! Forgot about that. I played against MrGarrett. And we have no cards. That's a weird game to play. No, I'm going to mulligan this. By your powers combined. Alright, MrGarrett, you are way too slow. And look, our opponent goes first again. All right, can we climb up to 4 mana? That is the question. We got a long ways to get there, though. Zombies. That's not a zombie. Yeah, we need to get to that 4 now. Come on, stay alive. That's not a zombie either. All right, I need to get a 4th mana. Come on, mana number 4. We gotta wait a whole turn and then hope we draw 4th mana. This guy would kill the Keen-Eyed Curator if he had the opportunity. So this means that if he doesn't have the opportunity, he thinks he does now, but he's got to worry about the ward. There goes the extra 1. And we're not getting it. We'll put out double up on this guy. Let's give it to the baby. 2 2s. I saw you. No, that's fine. I'll take it. All right, come on, mana. Gosh, dang. Where is my mana at? Trample. Sure, let's do that. He's down to 6. Got more than enough to kill him on the next turn. Hopefully I can pick up another mana. That'd be fantastic. You want to try to chew up one of my guys? The rabbits will have something to say about it. You can't block with Skeletor there, so you might as well attack. And we win! And we win! Boom, boom, goes the room. Boom, boom. Alright, playing against Quvais. That sounds right. And trust me, I'm a trained professional when it comes to pronouncing magic cards. No! Alright, we got Swamp. Is he gonna just start killing my guys? Little Golgari, okay. Alright, 3 is gonna get us into Surrak. Let's lay things out. We'll Innkeeper's Talent. We'll put out another one of these. These guys are awesome. And let's give them some love. All right, in you go. All right, he needs 4. He's only got, he has 5 for this, but he needs another one. So next turn he could probably play it. All right, the question, can I be tricksy enough with royal treatment to actually get someplace? There we go. All right, Innkeeper's Talent. And we're good enough. Pop. Pop. And let's attack. Leave the Llanowar back. All right, cool. All right, it's down to 7. That's about as tricksy as we can get. Fill out the other Llanowar Elf. And why not? I mean, we got nothing else going on. I'm not going to defend with it. And we win. Yeah, we can pump up Innkeeper's Talent on the next turn. Victory! Alright, playing against lohe. Or is it lohe? Lohe. There's your Toke Dragon. All right, number 2. Let's curate. Pop it. Might have to royal treatment to trick this guy. There we go. Oh, he's just gonna play it that way, huh? All right, double it up. Bring your kid to work day. I feel like I need to put royal treatment on the Mite. Maybe when I traded was that instant. I'll wait till end of his turn to do it. Alright, still playing low end. Pass to attackers. Ooh, Ouroboroid is the way to go. I'm gonna get this guy out. So you pick up the B. Put it on the guy trample. There we go, that's looking good. Alright, he's down to 2. A little board wipe would be bad. Alright, you can take out my Ouroboroid. That would be bad. Nope, you're just putting out 2 dudes. And we win! Yeah, I had everything we needed. Victory! Alright, so here we are with Stompy. Stompy. Yeah, we ended up with a 54% win rate. That's not great. I mean, it's enough. It's good. It seems like there's so much great with this deck. And sometimes when it goes off perfectly, it is just a marvel to behold. But other times, you know, if anybody gets out there with like lifelink or anybody has like death touch, then the whole thing sort of falls apart. Especially if you don't get everything you need perfectly when you need it. The lack of control is what this deck is seriously suffering for. So making this thing like a Selesnya or a Golgari version, just so that you can get in some of the creature removal that you get easy with white and black, that would make this deck so much better. And I think we might have played Ouroboroid Golgari not too long ago, and it did very well. But yeah, this is mono green with Ouroboroid. The thing I like about this deck is it kind of reminds me big time of a Moneyball deck because everything is so cheap. Ouroboroid, it's the whole reason I found this deck. So I was looking for anything that was playing with the Baloth, the Frenzied Baloth there, because I believe he's the best green Moneyball creature out there. And he's only 2 to put out. You get 3 for strength, and he's got haste and trample. Plus, combat damage can't be prevented. Creature spells can't be countered. He can't be countered. There's so much value right there. But yeah, so he's super Moneyball, and adding Ouroboroid to it, even though at the end is just going to get you all that extra value. There's not enough trample to really get along with what you need. We got trample with Surrak. We got trample right there. We got trample with the paw patches, and I guess that's most of your creatures, isn't it? Just felt like when I was playing, there wasn't very much trample because these guys were all hiding. They only came out like one at a time somehow. Might have just been the shuffler trying to screw me over. All right, so let's get to it. Who was the MVP? Who was the most valuable player? I can tell you in this deck, it is the Frenzied Baloth. This guy's got so much value. The fact that he's Trample Haze, you could drop him for 2. The only thing that's bad is we got these little jerks. There's only 2 of them, though. But I had it one time. My opening hand was a Forest and a Soulstone Sanctuary, and I had a Frenzied Baloth, and I'm like, oh my god. You're trying to tell me I cannot play Frenzied Baloth on turn 2? That's ridiculous. But yeah, the fact that if you get multiple of these guys down, you just go for it, what are they going to be able to do? How are they going to be able to hold up against it? How will they be able to do anything unless they have creature removal or chumps or something to get out of the way there? If you get this in, you start pumping with a little bit of your tricks, you can win easily. Anyway, so today's MVP is the Frenzied Baloth. Congratulations, Beast. You are going to Disneyland. All right, let's see. Number 1, was this deck competitive? I had a 54% win rate. It's not super competitive. I think this deck, like I say, it's lacking control. You seriously need to have it. If this deck works perfectly, there's almost nothing anybody can do to stop it. But you have to get the right amount of ramp, and you have to go straight into your other cards. You have to have Ouroboroid on turn 3 kind of situation. It's just it's hard to get that going perfectly. But it happens. It happens occasionally, at which point there's almost nothing they can do to hold off against it. But yeah, there's a lot of the time they get out weird stuff where they start playing their own game, and then you're toast. So like I said, this deck could be a lot better. I'm not sure. Even if you got some fight spells in here, it'd be a lot better. We'll take it as that. All right, number 2, was this deck fun? Yeah, absolutely. Why? Because it was an aggro deck. Look at that curve right there. 1, 2, and then who cares about 3 and 4? Vast majority of cards are within 1 and 2. You're throwing things down fast. Yeah, and you start growing it out. These guys are not integral to your deck. It's really Ouroboroid is what you're looking for. I mean, even more mana elves might be a good way to go just so you can get to Ouroboroid. These guys, not important. Not super important at all. But so anyways, that was made it really fun. It was entirely an aggro deck, and they got the beef and the trample, and it all comes together deliciously. Lastly, was this deck interesting? I mean, it's an Ouroboroid deck. What I did appreciate about it is the fact that it focused so much on the low-end creatures. And we have guys that are coming out with 2 and 3 quite a bit, at which point you got lots of pump going on. You just got to rely upon not as much trample as we have. I do like the pump with the Hemosymbic Mite. This guy was pretty cool, I think, when I first saw him. And he works well here as well. I don't think we're putting out permanent Popo counters. I mean, it'd be great when you do it with Ouroboroid, right? But by this time, the game is almost over anyway. But I don't think I've seen these guys played in today's deck together. They easily could. There's 4 of each. It's really, really good. All right, so there you go. Let's add this all up. Was this deck competitive? Not really. Was this deck fun? Yes. Was it interesting? Yeah, I liked it. All right, so I'm going to give this deck an A-. The lack of being super competitive, it leaves a lot to it. But everything else about the deck is pretty top-notch. So it's an A- deck, and if you decide to play with this deck, I hope that you have as much fun with it as I did. That is all for now. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. From all of us here in the secret underground headquarters of Uncommonly Good MTG, have a great day. In the words of my people, shine on, you crazy diamonds. Later.